Hey, what's up guys? In this video I want to show you how I draw my feathers. I'm a tattooer with over 15 years of experience. I like to draw my feathers similar like this one. This is one of my designs. I also have a brush set with over 40 feathers on Etsy. I will link it in the description. Of course there are many styles. This is how I draw my feathers. Let's go. So let's start with a new canvas. Screen size is fine. I will use my own liners, but you can use any liner you want for this. Okay, let's start with red. First we're gonna draw the basic shape of the feather. So this is the center line. The center line of the feather. Then usually you keep something like 1/4 of the total length. That's the bottom part. Then it starts narrow. In the middle it's a little wider. And then it becomes narrow again. To make a good tattoo you need clear lines in your design. Clear lines with enough room between the lines will keep a tattoo nice over the years. So keep that in mind when you're drawing. So I'm just doing this from my head. I don't have an example. I drew a lot of these feathers. This is how I like to draw them. I like to make some big chunks first, and then you make some variety. Don't make everything the same. At first it doesn't look so nice, but we will get there. So the center line, what I like is that it's two lines. So you get a little stem in the middle. The two lines come together as higher as you get. So in these chunks you get the smaller individual lines. And then you can make it fine. If your customer wants a really fine feather, that's also possible. You just choose your needles for the style that the customer wants. Usually women come for feathers, so if she wants a finer feather, you draw some more lines and you tattoo it with a smaller needle. So for the thick lines, 7 liner would be good, and then you can go down for the finer lines, like a 3 liner for example. Okay, so this is the basic shape. Don't overthink it. Then we're going to create a new layer, and we make the red layer less visible. So maybe 45–50% opacity. Select the top layer and choose black. So now I'm gonna pick another liner for my brush set, but you can use whatever you want. So I will start with the center lines, and then we will build a feather around that. So make one long line. I'll make the red layer a little bit less visible so I can see the black lines more clearly. Wrong layer. So here it will become thinner, and here they will join. Doesn't have to be perfect first time, you can erase it as long as the tattoo is perfect. You want to be efficient with your drawing, so work fast. Okay, now we're going to draw the chunks of lines. Maybe make it a little bit thicker. Don't make every chunk the same, so you will see that I'm adding some variety to the lines. Make it a little bit playful. So you see me zooming in and out a lot because I want to see the total composition of the feather, and I'm zooming in to focus on the lines. This is on an iPad, but the whole process will be the same on paper, except that you would draw the first lines maybe on the back side of the paper and then put it on a light pad, and then you can trace it. But you can also use a pencil first and then use a fine liner and erase the pencil. But it's basically the same. When I first started tattooing, there were no iPads and everything works just fine. iPad sometimes can be a little bit easier, faster, especially for mandalas and patterns. If you draw a mandala on paper, it will take a big part of your day. And with an iPad, it's a matter of minutes sometimes, if you get the hang of it. Okay, now we have the big shape of the feather. We can turn off the red layer and put the feather in the center of the paper. At least that's what I like. I'm a little autistic. So this is a good shape. Now we will draw the individual lines. We'll make the liner a little bit thinner, and that's also the way I tattoo it. So I use 2 liners, and then if I'm gonna shade it, I will add a shader. I like a magnum, small magnum for the shading. So 2 liners and 1 shader. Maybe you like a round shader, I like magnums. So now I will draw the individual lines. Keep it exciting, so don't draw all the lines the same distance. Don't fill it up completely with lines. That's boring. You want every part to be interesting. So the whole tattoo, and if you look at individual parts, you will need it to be interesting as well. So first I will just add some lines everywhere, and then I'm gonna look for balance. And you just keep the same flow everywhere. Because a real feather, the hairs, they like to come together. Yeah? And they will become chunks like this. But in a tattoo design you want to exaggerate. And then you can do some lines, maybe half. Just play with it. When we're going to shade it, you will add some more dynamic feeling to the drawing. What I also like to do is sometimes I flip the design and just look at it from another angle. So you can add as much lines as you want. Just clean it up as you're going. Don't worry about it too much. So we're almost done with the lines. You don't want too much lines. Don't create a spaghetti feather. Make it interesting. So we're almost there. And this will need some. Maybe I'll leave one chunk totally free from lines. And you can always come back. Okay, now we'll do some shading. New layer. Put it below the lines. You can use whatever you want. I would just pick a shader from my own brush set. And now you got the middle lines, just shade away from that to the two sides. Make something a little bit better. We will clean it up. It's too dark. We will go darker later. Okay. I will keep the center line empty, no shading in there. Use it for contrast. Contrast is your biggest friend when tattooing. For those of you who don't know what contrast is, it's light and dark. Very important with tattooing, because a tattoo don't stay the same. So now I'm cleaning up the spaces between the feather lines. And you can see it taking shape already. Okay, now we're going to do the same for the other side. I'm going to create a new layer for that. But to make it a little bit more interesting, I'm going to go from dark to light. So this will be the darkest part. So low opacity, just shade it in. Here we're going to go darker. I'm going to use the same shader also for a little bit texture. You don't need that, but for this video it will look nice. Okay, clean it up. Because we made a new layer, we're only erasing this side, not this side, because that's on another layer. So this could be a finished drawing, but I'm gonna make it a little bit more interesting. You can go as far as you want. I will keep the video short, but I will add another layer. And then add some more shadow to some of the lines, in between the lines. So make it relatively dark, small, smaller, darker. Yeah, that's what I want. Keep the center line empty. So you go from dark to light. The outer side will be light. So then you have some boring parts, at least I think that. For example here. So I will select the layer with the shadow over there and just make it lighter. Same thing on that side. Just look for some parts that can use a little bit more variation, like for example over here. Maybe here, this part. And this is also how you would tattoo it. So don't shade everything the same. Okay, and that's it. That's how I draw my feathers. I will leave a link in the description for my liners. Also my set of feathers, where you can find 40 feathers in this style and a couple different other styles that I use. If you want me to make a video of something else, how you can draw another tattoo design, please let me know in the comments and I will make a video out of that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my work. Thank you. Bye.